Howdy folks, how are you doing? I'm the Reverend Danny Crosby, a Unitarian minister serving congregations in Altrincham and in Urmston in the northwest of England. I do hope you're finding the love that is present and witnessing the blessings that are in life in these difficult times. These are hard times, my friends. But we are all in this one together. It's important to know that. And I'm offering these devotions as offering a little bit of hope, I suppose. Doing what I can, playing my role in being a part of the solution. Doing what I can. They are offered as a balm for the heart, for the mind, for the spirit, and for the soul. And today's reflection is titled, Sacred the Body, Embodied Spirituality. So I invite us to still ourselves. Let's invite a loving presence to be here amongst us and to awaken from deep within us all. I have lit the flame of freedom in this cup of belonging, acceptance, and of love. Let us enter into this time together, despite our physical separation. Let us enter into this sacred time, this sacred space. May we know the peace of coming together in love, connected in heart, in mind, in spirit and in soul. May this time and space be a sanctuary for our sacred being. May this time and space bring peace to our hearts and souls and nourishment to our being. Let us all be here now. Lay down the cares and the concerns of your day. Lay them into the healing hands of the Divine Spirit. Let's be here right now. Let's lay out our joy, our delight, and give thanks for the Divine Spirit within us and all around us. Come now together in love. Amen. I'm going to begin today's devotion with a very short verse actually by Linda Hogan entitled The Way In. The Way In by Linda Hogan. Sometimes the way to milk and honey is through the body. Sometimes the way is a song. But there are three ways in the world: dangerous, wounding, and a beauty. To enter stone, be water. To rise through hard earth, be plant desiring sunlight, believing in water. To enter fire, be dry. To enter life, be food. The 20th century French Jesuit priest and philosopher Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, I'm sure that's not how it's meant to be pronounced, but that's my best effort, he claimed that we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. It is a phrase I have heard many times over the years in a variety of spiritual circles. Hear it all the time actually. Now while I think I know what people mean by it, there's something about it that bothers me. And the reason is that in my view it appears to diminish at some level at least the physical life. It seems to suggest that the physical life is of lesser importance. It's merely a home for the spirit. And that what comes before and perhaps after physical life is somehow more important than this life. Well, I'm not convinced by that. Dualism of any kind has always troubled me. I personally don't see a separation between body and spirit. This kind of disembodied spirituality has always troubles me somewhat, actually. And the reason for this is that if we see the body as somehow less than spirit, or on the other hand see nothing sacred at all in our humanity, that this can lead to all kinds of troubles. For me, the body is a deeply sacred thing indeed. For me, the body is the beautiful expression of the spirit come to life. It's more than spirit, not less. Now, this view about body and spirit has been described by Georges N. Ferrer, professor of religious psychology, as embodied spirituality. He wrote that embodied spirituality regards the body as subject, as the home of the complete human being, as a source of spiritual insight, as a microcosm of the universe and the mystery, and as pivotal for enduring spiritual transformation. The body is not an it to be objectified and used for the goals or even spiritual ecstasies of the conscious mind, but a thou, an intimate partner with whom the other human dimensions can collaborate in pursuit of ever-increasing forms of liberating wisdom. Quite a mouthful that, don't you think? For Ferrer, you see, the body is the home of the complete human being. It is the physical reality in which we live. It is through the body that we both literally and metaphorically walk our own unique path. The mistake that so many religious understandings have made is that they have seen the body as the prison of the soul, something that the spirit or soul needs to be liberated from. He claims that the mystery of incarnation never suggested that spirit entered into the body, but that the spirit became flesh. From a Christian perspective, to quote John's Gospel, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh." Word meaning actually, not literally words, by the way. Through our bodies, our lives, the way we live our lives, the spirit comes to life. We are here for a reason. Life truly means something, and it is our task to bring that something to life through our lives, through our bodily existence. Embodied spirituality is about fully inhabiting our lives, our thoughts, our feelings, our relationships with ourselves, our own lives, each other, and the mystery that connects all life. It's about being fully present in our being, in our bodies, in our lives, and therefore fully experiencing our potential, being fully alive. The body is not just a suit that clothes our being. It is through the body that we experience what it is to be fully alive. They say, listen to your body. And that's sage wisdom. For me, the body is not a separate entity to our spirit. No, I cannot agree with dualism. This dualistic view, I just don't see it. You see, it seems to me that it is through the body that the spirit comes alive, and further, through the body that the spirit is fed. It's more than just spirit. It's spirit come to life. Embodied spirituality views every aspect of our humanity, whether that be body, mind, heart, spirit, consciousness, as equal partners in bringing the self, community, and the world into a fuller alignment with the mystery that brings into being all life, while at the same time connects all life. It brings all life into being, and it connects all life. It's a kind of pan-en-theism. Not to be confused with pantheism, even though word does not recognise pan-en-theism as a true word. It is. Pan-en-theism sees all life as being in God and that God is in all life, and yet somehow more than all life. It's not that all life is God, it's that that God is in all life, and all of life is somehow in God, but not the same, exactly the same as God, not to be confused with pantheism. It sees the full engagement of body as being vital to spiritual growth and transformation. Now, sadly, the spiritual traditions and religious traditions have not always recognised the sacredness of the body. They have not always recognised that it is through the body that the spirit comes to life. In fact, they have seen it as quite the opposite, to be fair. Plato and Aristotle taught that the physical can never be the ideal, that the spirit or soul was better than the real fleshy body that contains it. The physical, Plato argued, was only an imperfect shadow of the realm of the spirit. Other traditions placed the cultivation of the spirit as something to be nurtured separate from the body, what Ferrer has named as disembodied spirituality. Traditions of both the East and the West have seen the denial of the body as a pathway to spiritual enlightenment. In Hinduism, Brahmanism calls for the denial of bodily comforts in order to transcend samsara, the continual dying and rebirth of reincarnation. The ultimate aim being to transcend the body entirely. And you see similar traditions in Christianity, in Taoism, in Sufism. Buddhist writings have described the body as a source of suffering, and that nirvana can only be reached through the cessation of bodily desires. Many traditions have emphasized the life beyond this physical realm as being more important than this life, thus denigrating our physical being. The flesh has also been seen as the root of human sin, that the body is the source of humanity's spiritual fall. The classic example is Adam and Eve being banished from the Garden of Eden to suffer from bodily pain. So sadly, the body has not been seen as sacred at all. Quite the opposite, actually. Instead, it's been seen as something of shame, something to escape, and something to transcend. But transcendence for me is not what the spiritual experience is about anyway. For me, the spiritual experience is about transformation. And to be truly spiritually alive is to be engaged in change, and you transform in this body. Nothing else. But having said all that, it's not just the religious and spiritual traditions that have failed to recognise the sacredness of the body. We live in a secular, materialistic age, and yet we struggle so much with our bodies. How many people have become obsessed with the way they look? How many of us hate our physical being? How many people prey on these weaknesses too, make a fortune out of us, degrade us? The body has become big business. In many ways, we have swapped the worship for the divine and for life itself, for the worship of the approval of others, especially with regard to our bodies, the way that we look. This. So this does not see the body as sacred at all, more as a commodity that can be traded on and with. It does not recognise the sacredness of life, both our own life and each other's lives. Some aspects of the scientific community are no better. They've seen the body as merely as a machine and not an expression of the divine manifested in life. Richard Dawkins has described human beings as merely lumbering robots. That's all that we are. Is there really nothing sacred in life? Is this really all that we are? When you look into the eyes of your neighbour, do you see no spirit, no soul? Do you really see nothing? I know I don't. Life is a sacred thing. Last year at summer school we explored theology in the flesh. How might our embodied experience shape our answers to life's ultimate questions? Quite a mouthful again, isn't it? I co-facilitated a group there. It was a deeply moving experience as we interacted with a variety of spiritual understandings and shared personal experiences as we explored how we interacted with our physical world. And the following quotation was the starting point of our journeying that week. It's by Carol P. Christ. Embodied theology is rooted in personal experiences in our individual bodies. At the same time, we all live in a relational world shaped by social and historical events and forces that are shared. I remember a few years ago hearing an excellent theme talk by the Reverend Bill Darlison at summer school. In it he made the claim that if we wish to live more spiritually alive, then what we had to do was to increase our sensitivity to life. To live more spiritually alive, we need to increase our sensitivity to life. And to me this reveals just how vital our bodily experiences are and how it is through them that our spirit comes truly to life. By increasing our sensitivity to life, we will know experiences beyond our imaginings, and life will become our constant teacher. We will grow in deeper understanding, and most importantly, we will become more effective in our daily living, and then will truly become of service to life and those we meet in life. Isn't this what divine love incarnating in life actually is? Isn't that the divine come to life in our human bodies? Seems to me that to live a full life requires us to truly inhabit our whole being, body, mind, heart, soul and spirit. And to do so requires us to truly inhabit our bodies and to fully express our whole being through our bodies. This means we need to learn to be at home in our bodies, to bring our bodies home if you like. You see, it's through our bodies that we both give and receive love. It's through our bodies that the word truly becomes flesh and comes alive actually in our very human being. We are so much more than merely chemical processes, and our bodies are not some lesser experience than spirit itself. We need to love life and our very being. Our bodies need not be despised, denied or repressed. Our bodies need to know love, and for them to know love we need to allow that love to be expressed by our very being, for surely that's the divine spirit coming to life. Isn't that the kingdom of love right here, right now? Isn't that what that means, really? For the word to once again become flesh and dwell among us, we need to express love through our very being. We need to recognise and sing in praise, sacred the body, sacred the body, sacred the body. May we bless life by our very being, and may we do so in all that we feel, all that we think, all that we say, and all that we do. Before offering a final blessing, I'm going to give you a little bit more of Mark Nepo, just a few lines actually. The end of a poem. I keep looking for one more teacher, only to find that fish learn from water and birds learn from sky. If you want to learn about the sea, it helps to be at sea. If you want to learn about compassion, it helps to be in love. If you want to learn about healing, it helps to know of suffering. You see, the strong live in the storm, without worship in this storm. And I'm going to end with some final words of blessing. We need to bless more. We can all bless. We can all bless by giving our whole being, our whole hearts to life. So let's begin today. Let's give our whole hearts to life. So I offer these final words of blessing. May the love that overcomes all differences, that heals all wounds, that puts to flight all fears, that reconciles all who are separated, may that love be in us and among us, now and always. And may that love that we can call God, may that love go with us all, and may it do so in all that we feel, in all that we think, in all that we say, in all that we do.